Day 40. How did that happen? Oh my gosh, that was so fast. I don't know about you, but it feels super fast to me and I'm super excited. Today is the last day of writing, and you may not be doing writing. You may have wound this all up. So we're going to just talk about the end of the denouement, the last sentence of the book, and the fact that you should go celebrate. If you get done yesterday or today, maybe you're not, maybe you plan to write a 220 book or something, that's fine. Keep going. Just follow the rules and do all the math so you know how many pages of each thing you need. But if you finish, celebrate. Whatever is reasonable in your budget, the thing that fits in your budget that gives you the most happiness and is so exciting to you and is such a pleasure and a treat, do it. Finishing a book is seriously one of the most exciting things to do in the whole wide world, I should know. I love it. Even to this day, 50 plus, man, I take myself out to a fantastic dinner. I usually buy myself a little gift. Sometimes I go to Disneyland. It depends on how big the book was and how I'm doing financially from my sales. And yeah, I make a big deal of it because it is a big deal. 50 in, it doesn't matter. I just finished a book, for the love of God. I just made sense out of something that made no sense. I just created something out of nothing. That is a huge, big deal. I usually celebrate the next day. I take whatever the day is off that I finished. I usually take whatever the rest of the week is. I pray to God I finish a book on Monday or Tuesday so I can take the rest of the week off. But sometimes I finish on a Thursday and I just get Friday, Saturday off. And I wake up the next morning and have a fantastic brunch. I have brunch no matter what. If it's a Tuesday, I have brunch. I celebrate. I rejoice. I usually take a day or two off just to step away from the book for a little bit. Now, normally I do not read it at all. So, I started that book a month ago, just like you did. So I have a pretty clean slate when it comes to the beginning. But I just want to just give myself a few days off just to recoup. And many times I'll write 10, 15, 20 pages on that last day just to get it done and over with. And so I'm pretty tired. So just really enjoy yourself. Whatever it is that is celebratory for you, do it. I'm serious. Don't be like, oh, whatever. I finished a book. I should. No. And I know hundreds of authors, and I know every single one of them does something special when they finish a book. And again, they may be 20, 30, 50, 100 books in, and they still celebrate. So you absolutely 1000% deserve to celebrate when you are done. So let's get you done if you haven't finished already. So the end of the denouement usually should be, we are usually bookending. So usually it is the hero is the last POV you're in. If you're in first person or third person single, then of course you're in the hero's POV. But if you're not, if you're multiple, then the hero's where you want to land. Again, don't want to put too much pressure on you, but the last page of the book, and certainly the last sentence of the book, is the most important sentence probably of the entire book. Now, your first sentence is super important to get people to read your book, but the last sentence makes them feel good about your book, which is obviously equally important. We want them hyped up. We want them so excited, so satisfied. We want them to feel so good about this book that they go leave a review and buy either another book of yours or the second book in a trilogy. So that is a big deal. Most of the time I have that sentence. I know that sentence. Now, sometimes I don't. This last book, I didn't know the damn ending of the book until a week before I was done. And finally, my subconscious basically downloaded the entire denouement to me, nearly word for word. I'm like, thank you, subconscious. Thank you, Muse. It made me sweat a little bit, but it finally came. Usually, though, on a more average, probably by the middle of the book, I have that last line, because that last line has to satisfy. And so I usually have it. Sometimes it's a little bit later, deeper into the second or the third act. If you don't have that great line, write whatever you can. And something to ponder. This is one of those things that you sleep on, that you ask your subconscious a question and then sleep on it. And hopefully they answer the next day. And remember, we got another 20 days of editing for you to figure out that last line if you can't figure it out right now. Just know it is super important. It is in what we call a power position. The beginning and ending of the book, the beginning and ending of a chapter, a beginning and end of a section, beginning and end of a POV, beginning and end of a paragraph. Those beginning and end of a sentence are all power positions. I know you would have loved to hear that before, but too bad, we're moving on with it. So we have a power position, and that ending of the book is obviously a huge, 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 huge power position. treated as such. That means the more the power of the position, the higher up it is, the more time we spend thinking about it and editing it. We may change it multiple times until we feel like we nail it. And if you can't nail it this book, you'll know next book, hey, I better be able to nail that and do it then. That is fine. Again, this is it. You're finishing the book today if you haven't already finished it. I'm super proud of you. Go celebrate. Now, you're probably I would recommend you take a day or two, no more than a week, before you start in on your editing module, which is tomorrow, which is day 41. And we are going to, that's really preparatory day as always. I prepare you for the editing process. And then day 42, we're going to actually just look at the first page because it's so important because, again, it's in a power position. And then we'll move on to bigger chunks of editing to get your book ready for somebody else to read. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. I feel exhausted for you. I feel so elated and tired and all the things that go into ending a book for you. I am so very proud of you. Take a break, no more than a week, and I will see you at the first day of editing, which is day 41.